Hi, I'm the Moroccan Angel, and I'm here to help others set things right with their Maker. Hi, so I need a little patience today because I'm not feeling my best today, but here I am. So the title of this is Debunking Voddie Baucham. I want to be clear about something. I actually respect Mr. Baucham's drive to get to the heart of the Christian faith and encourage other professing Christians to stop the hypocrisy. And some of his teachings are quite accurate in regards to the Christian faith. Nonetheless, we are both being taught by two entirely separate beings. Mr. Baucham, you see, worships and claims to serve the man Jesus. I worship and serve the one who created Jesus. There's a big, big difference. The one I serve and worship is not a man. No part of him is a man. Jesus was a man. And I know for some of you, mainly the quote-unquote professing Christians, this may be highly offensive, and that's because it's clashing with the lies you've been told regarding the Christian faith, especially in reference to the true identity and purpose of Jesus. Interestingly, what's really kind of insane is that most, or a good majority of individuals who attempt to refute what I'm saying, they're not even genuine biblical Christians. They're claiming to be Christians entirely based on their emotional convictions, not biblically confirmed convictions. And you can visibly see this, the evidence of this. Their responses are rude, insulting. They're speaking lies concerning what's actually written, usually based on their own interpretations, argumentative, stubborn, offended, and just from discussing the basic written scripture. They can't even hold a decent conversation. And I'm not saying all are this way. There's a great number who are in America. Now, even in the past, the church slaughtered and tortured those who refused to convert. Now, the God of Israel never said to murder someone who chose not to follow or quote unquote convert to his laws and commandments. And if you're under this belief, you got it wrong. Any religion that attempts to justify murder in this way because someone simply refuses to accept their religion, this is against the creator of man, and you're guilty of murder. This aggressive spirit of hatred and violence against someone because they don't believe what you believe, it's insanity. It's the creator who opens the mind to understanding. He gives wisdom, especially concerning his ways and who he is. Now, coming to Mr. Baucham, I'm speaking in direct relation to his response to a girl on TikTok who addressed the hypocrisy of the Christians, the quote unquote Christians. I'm just going to play Voddie Baucham's response and then we'll get into it.
There are three types of laws in the Bible. There is moral law that is forever binding on all people in all places and all times. We have this summarized for us in the Ten Commandments. There are also civil laws. These civil laws were for the nation of Israel as a nation in the ancient Near East. These laws expired with the nation of Israel, but they are still of general equity because they're based on those moral laws. Thirdly, we had the ceremonial laws. These ceremonial laws were laws that were designed to do two things. Number one, identify Israel as God's unique people, worshiping him uniquely in their context, and secondly, to point forward to the person and work of Christ. So when you talk about cutting the edge of the beard, you're actually talking about ceremonial law and Israel not being like the nations around them. When you're talking about their dietary laws, you're talking about Israel not being like the nations around them. So the reason I pick and choose from the Old Testament is because, number one, New Testament writers do that and teach me how to do that. Number two, Christ has come and we are under the new covenant. However, he has fulfilled the whole law and he has actually enabled me to keep the moral law.
Now, he's basically telling her that she's got it wrong. She's not looking and interpreting the laws correctly. And this whole Christian thing, she's got it wrong. Now, there are only certain laws, which he basically is telling her that there are only certain laws and commandments that Christians are required to keep. And he's properly trained to determine which ones, because I guess the disciples did it or taught him how, and seminary school. Now, he notes that the quote unquote three types of laws, or he states that the laws are in categories: the moral law, the civil law, and the ceremonial laws. Now, it sounds good, I'm sure, to the uneducated or the unlearned, and I mean that in sincerity. He states that the moral law is the one that is binding, and certain aspects of the civil law. My question is, says who? Who's giving the order that only the quote unquote moral law is binding? As a matter of fact, who has the authority among men to place the laws in categories of moral, civil, or ceremonial? Tell me, who determines which laws are most important to keep and which ones aren't? Who? Is it not the God of Israel alone who governs which laws and commandments to keep? After all, he is the one who established the laws and commandments. Yes, it's his earth, is it not? It's his breath in your body, right? Are you not dependent on his resources? So tell me, where do you see written within the scriptures where the God of Israel sections or categorizes his laws as quote unquote moral, civil, or ceremonial? You won't find it, because this is a man-made concept. It's not written within the ancient scriptures. Let me tell you what the God of Israel declared, the one who established the laws and commandments. The God of Israel declared that you shall keep all of my laws and commandments. Not some of them, not 10 of them, not none of them, because the quote unquote Christians said you no longer have to keep the law. They didn't make anything. This isn't their world, it's his. And he said, keep, watch this now, keep all of my commandments and my laws. This is the Creator we're talking about, the Eternal One. No man or woman has the authority to change what he has eternally spoken. Wow, to think that you can change or alter what the Creator said. That's insane arrogance. It's nuts. And you have individuals violating the laws of the Creator based upon, well, the Pope said it was okay, or the priest said, or my mama said, or Peter or Paul said, or Jesus said. But what did the Eternal One say? So you see, she wasn't wrong. These false Christians are declaring, yes, it's wrong to be in these forbidden relationships according to the law. But according to that same law, they're also violating the law by still eating pork every day, worshiping idols, praying and worshiping to a man, getting tattoos, etc., etc. And the truly pathetic thing is, most of these American Christian leaders, because I can't speak too much for, outside of America, but these American Christian leaders are pointing the finger on the pulpit at individuals who are in sexual perversion, while they themselves are behind closed doors doing the very same thing. If you're going to be a Christian, be a Christian. Stop playing games. Please. The hypocrisy must stop. So no, Mr. Baucham, not you nor any other quote unquote professing Christian get to decide which laws are more or less important, because none of you established the laws and commandments. The Creator declared that all of His laws are important, all of them are binding, and that's not contingent on your ability to understand or your preference to keep or not keep them. He decides. And He said, the Creator, the Eternal One, He said to keep all of them. Period. I'm the Moroccan angel. Do what is right. Always. It matters.